Would you like to read it out?
Yeah. So now that is the life of the gods. As for the other souls, one that follows a god most closely, making itself most like that god, raises the head of its charioteer up to the place outside and is carried around in the circular motion with the others. Although distracted by the horses, this soul does have a view of reality, just barely. Another soul rises at one time and falls at another, and because its horses pull it violently in different direction, it sees some real things and misses others. The remaining souls are all eagerly straining to keep up, but are unable to rise. They are carried around below the surface, trampling and striking one another as each tries to get ahead of the others. The result is terribly noisy, very sweaty, and disorderly. Many souls are crippled by the incompetence of the drivers, and many wings break much of their plumage. After so much trouble, they all leave without having seen reality, uninitiated, and when they have gone, they will depend on what they think is nourishment, their own opinions. So,
That's enough.
yeah.
We can even read it more closely, sentence by sentence, maybe. Say the first, maybe I can read it again until here, maybe, or now that is the life of the gods. As for the other souls, so now we become going to this from gods to say souls. So for the other souls, one that follows a god most closely, making itself most like the god, raises the head of its charioteer up to the place outside and is carried around in a circular motion with the others. Any questions about this short sentence?
So I get a question about this circular motion. I'm trying to visualize how that looks like. What kind of circular motion? It's like how Earth, move around the sun.
Yes. Now we just read, right? So glad you have a ready answer ready.
Is it yeah, it's a mythological circus. It's like a hippodrome with the gods, but you only have glimpses of the gods outside in their I don't know, this yeah, it's like a it's like a strange hippodrome. Yeah.
Basically, the answer is at that time the Greeks thinks the heavenly bodies are gods.
Yeah.
And then, so as they associate a lot of stuff to this stuff, so they think God basically moves in circular motion. And the second, because they think the circle is a perfect geometry or a shape, so it was also associated this with reason.
Okay, the circle is associated with reason.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and also with soul or the rational part of the soul. So here, after depicted as gods, he comes to kind of the best soul, and which are the best soul. So you can say they have different characteristics. One of them is circular motion, which means basically they are most godlike. First and the second, why? Because they are very close to reason. I think basically but Hokun, this is a very good question because it is really critical. And also, you can see the raise the head of its charioteer up means it's kind of like climbing, right? Ascending, right? Ascending.
Ascending, yes.
Yes, ascending to the top. Yes, and this is kind of like some depiction of the best souls. Any further questions or comments?
So they.
Yeah, nothing from my side.
Okay. So maybe then we can read the second sentence and also the second kind of souls. Okay. Although distracted by the horses, the soul does have a view of reality just barely. Sorry. So the last sentence, also from the first kind of soul. So they are not gods because they kind of distracted by the horses. So they cannot see like all the forms or the beauties or the like sceneries in the heaven, but only part of them.
They just have a glimpse, yeah.
Yeah.
Short glimpses.
Yeah. But they do have one view of reality, right?
Where are we looking at? Where are we looking at? Which lines?
Okay, I can also share the screen. You mean, what's your question?
So you were saying you were discussing some lines, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, 248.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You find it?
Yeah, I'm in the line, but like I think because you were trying like okay, yeah.
You can see?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a place we are in, and now just this sentence, and another sentence. If no question, we go further, right? Okay, so now we go to another kind of soul. Another soul rises at one time and falls at another. And because its horses pull it violently in different directions, it seems some real things and misses others. Any comments?
It's kind of a just incidents, what things it misses and what what glimpses it gets because it's so distracted by the horses. But it's important is that it tries to see some ideas in this context.
And here, I just want to mention a small detail, like you can say in different directions. So now we know that that's a charioteer, right? Like someone who is driving the whole stuff, and one good horse or two horses here, basically. So then we also know that the gods always also have those three parts of their souls. So what's the difference between the souls of the gods and the other souls? Basically, it's this answer. One of them is like the gods so parts of soul kind of have a same direction, and they kind of like coordinate very good and has one like project goal. But so here we can say why it's a soul, because we need to work very well. The three parts will have one simple direction, which is the good. And that's just the first stuff I want to say. And the second one is violently. I think this violence is very important in this dialogue. Now we can see already different parts pour their stuff violent differently, and later we will see even the reason deal with other parts with violence.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other comments? No?
No.
So the remaining souls are all eagerly straining to keep up, but are unable to rise. They are carried around below the surface, trampling and striking one another as each tries to get ahead of the others. The result is terribly noisy, very sweaty and disorderly. Many souls are crippled by the incompetence of the drivers, and many winds break much of their plumage. After so many troubles, they all live without having seen reality, uninitiated, and when they have gone, they will depend on what they think is nourishment, their own opinions. This passage is complicated and also has like very rich. So if you have any question or comment?
After so much trouble, they all leave without. Okay, they can't ascend, and they will depend on the. Do they don't they? Maybe they can try. Yeah, it seems that they can't retry to get on this stage to. Don't they have another try to get to raise their head out of this chaos? Or don't know.
Claire, what's is your like your job usually? What are you doing? You are.
Oh, I'm just a link between users and developers of a database which is dealing with facility management at the city council.
So you're kind of also doing management, right?
No, management, not really. I'm just I don't know. We say counseling of the users and collecting needs of the users and get it to the developers and try to translate the needs to of the users to the developers, and then also data consistency, data that the data keeps consistent in this database. Otherwise, it's also chaos in this. Yeah,
I think chaos just means some chaos.
Yeah.
It's a failed managed project or something like that. Right? Basically, it does not achieve the goal of the project. So the project should be seeing some reality, right? And no, and then. And the last ones, at least the team have very similar or one goal or very similar goal, but here you can see the team members just like fighting with each other, quarreling, and different like part of teams are fractions. They kind of like also like how to say that, carried around and like trampling, striking one another, and uninitiated. So everybody wants his interest to be the greatest, although maybe he didn't understand whether his interest align with the project basic goal or something like that, right? So basically, I think here's this kind of that scene. But at the same time, I think here the nourishment is interesting. So what should be the nourishment?
So I think the nourishment should be what they see, what the gods, the God's word and the the ideas that are
exactly
have the reality, the view of reality.
I think your word idea is correct, because for Plato there are ideas, and then so the reality means these ideas are real, not like for us something floating in the air, but they are the true reality, but we are kind of like only copy of them, right? So if the soul or all those souls, if they see these ideas, then they get really nourished. And if it's just like if you read some serious books, and so basically you will get understand the world a little bit more. But if you just every day sitting on your phone and looking at some TikTok videos, and you will be nourished by opinions, which is not the knowledge, right? So there's about something about the ideas and the knowledge.
But I don't know, like, what is knowledge? I think the information or the knowledge always has some opinion inside, right? But I guess the point you want to make is that those rather, I would say, less critical opinion.
But you ask what's the difference between opinion and knowledge, right?
Yeah, because I think knowledge, there's no so-called the real knowledge, right? For example, in today's science, I think a lot of things based on, how do you call that? So you have a lot of observations, and then you make a conclusion based on those observations. And I think this is kind of opinionated as well, only until one day there's a black swan, and then, your conclusions doesn't hold anymore.
So you basically say it's a hypothesis, right? You know the word hypothesis?
Yeah, kinda.
So you have some basically what we call knowledge nowadays, or scientific knowledge nowadays, is like you have a lot of experimental data, and then you give us hypothesis, and you try to get then make more experiments, whether it's verified or it's objected, right? Basically, in that case, is now our understanding of scientific knowledge. Yeah, and you kind of like say, so it's also not something absolute, right? And in this understanding, then the line between so-called knowledge and opinion are not clear. We can even say the scientific knowledge are only opinions. I think that's what you said, right?
That,
not a static.
I think I want to convey such information, but with your processing or reasoning, I feel kinda that's also how I feel about scientific knowledge.
Can you explain a little bit more? What do you mean?
Meaning what you said exactly, that basically the knowledge we have for a lot of scientific, thing, rules, whatever, or laws, they are quite temporal.
Oh, I see. It's not absolute, but it will change, right? Say Einstein's understanding of, say, of motions different from Newton, but this does not mean that Newton is wrong, Einstein is right, but because they are from different time and they view the motion in different dimension, right, and so on and so forth. So somebody even say the history of science is just a graveyard of say truth.
Graveyard. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Until it's yeah, but it's the basis, and then it's
renewed, right?
refined, falsified, or maybe also reversed, and then but you are based on Newton, but you have a finer knowledge, and some things is
yeah, because then we know if we apply it, say, to the light, and then Newton is wrong, so Newton's Newtonian laws will be put into the graveyard, because at that place it does not apply anymore, and so on and so forth. So here I think we can begin like this way to think about what is knowledge basically here. And this is one of the central questions in philosophy, and usually it's called epistemology, German Erkenntnistheorie. Just ask this one question: what is knowledge? And here Plato has his answer, because he's kind of like 2,300 years away from us, so he did not know anything about Newton or Einstein. So for him, he made this distinctions slightly different. Here, I think the basic differences is the view about the reality itself, those ideas which are real exist, which are real existing, and other stuff. Like if you have seen the good itself, the just or justice, or like he also uses the wisdom or something like that. So if you see that, then that you have knowledge. If you didn't see that, then you have your own opinions, because this group of souls, right, they didn't see the reality. So what they will see is only to see, they only see this car, this bottle, or this book, or those stuff in the like in the sensitive world. So then they only have opinion. I think what Plato means is here. But Hoquin, what you asked is a really great question, and which is called, as I said, epistemology, the teaching of knowledge, or what is knowledge. There's some. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I get a stupid question. What is reality? Like, what kind of things is reality? What kind of things are real in Plato's opinion?
That's a huge question. What is reality? So it's not a stupid question first. It's a very good question. Can you answer yourself as what you read until now?
Based on the context here?
The boast of the whole Phaedrus, or here, of course, here.
Because when you describe the reality to see the the real world, then I think about the book I recently started to read from what is his name? What is his name? Descartes. He has a book about forced meditation or something on philosophy, and then he was thinking whether he really lives, because we basically what we see, what we hear is just the signal passed to our brain, but it could be the false or fake signals. And yeah, that's when you were describing about what we see in the world. Then I was thinking about what we see, what we hear, what we feel, is that really real?
It's exactly, you are saying this very good point. So Descartes is also point out our sensation can cheat us sometimes. Like we put say a chopstick into water and we see it's like right, but in fact the chopstick is how to say that is a line, right?
Yeah, it's not broke. The light is broken, and so you see other. You see it differently as it is in. You see it through a lens.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then if we have those kind of like example, we say, okay, our sight can cheat us. And so Descartes says, if our sight can cheat us in this case, it might cheat us in all cases, only we don't know.
Yeah.
And if the sight can cheat us and all other stuff can cheat us too. So he says then all the sensations we have, or in fact almost all the information we get from outside the world could be all illusionary. And then he asks the question, so what is reality? Right? Then basically why Hukwen mentioned Descartes here. Hukwen, is that correct? What do you want to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And so now we come back. What is Plato's reality? No answers. So I'll try to basically very short. Just the gods and the souls are like are traveling right in the heaven, top of heaven. There they see what they see is reality. So the ideas, just you said, the idea of the truth, the idea of the just, the idea of the good, the idea of the beauty, which will be very important in this dialogue, and so on and so forth. So later on, Plato also the idea of oneness or one, like the idea of lone or the idea of great or something like that. So he will, or even as the idea of a table. So he will go on. So there you have the reality. And what we have in the sensation world is only a copy of them, a projection of them.
Yeah, projection or shadow. We are in the cave, and we just have.
Exactly. So we are three individuals, and maybe we are just a shadow of the idea of human or human being, and then and so on and so forth. So basically, he has a very special understanding of the reality, and the stuff about the reality we can know are knowledge, basically. So you can say
What was that? Come again? The stuff
so
we can know is what?
about the reality is knowledge.
What does that mean? I don't get it. Can you say it again?
Like if the Zeus, right? Zeus, we say Zeus, he is flying or he is driving say in the heaven, and he see the idea of a table, right? And at Zeus say, okay, this table is, I don't know, this table has 4 legs. Maybe he says, we suppose he says that. So he sees, Zeus sees the real table, the idea table, and sees something about that. And Zeus also knows that the idea of a table, and then he says something which become a proposition, maybe, then that's knowledge about table. But what Zeus will say, I don't know. They will just suppose.
Okay.
You know.
So you mean knowledge is a presentation of the reality of the ideas, or what?
Wait for a minute. Can my friend write to me, want to join and I cannot join?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, what's your question?
Yeah, so my question is, the knowledge is a projection, is a representation of ideas of the what you were mentioned?
No, not that's the case. So if it's a projection of the reality, it may be some sense object. That's but you know, it's a little bit difficult, but I try to use some philosophical terms and to explain that. So one is called ontology. You know, ontology is a word about like existence or whether something existence and in how far it's real, kind of like this ontology. So this is one kind of question. The other question is epistemology. So epistemology is basically what is knowledge or what we can know. So basically then the ontological status of a table, say, then that's kind of like the reality. Whether which table is real, is the idea of table real, or is really the table in this Veranstaltungsraum real? Those kind of ontological inquiries, and we call them ontology. And the other is what can we know about this table? So can we say this table is white, or this table has 4 legs? This kind of like, so what can we know about this? Is it's knowledge about them, you know? It's kind of like in our days, the term maybe it's a sentence about the that thing, you know? Just a sentence about that thing is knowledge. Or could be knowledge. Maybe if I say this table have 3 legs, so it cannot be knowledge because it's not true. And if I say this table has 4 legs, one is at this place, the other 2 is there near Claire, and the other 2 is there, and I also have a picture to show that. So this sentence, then this whole, you can say, I have a sentence say the table has 4 legs, and that is one stuff. And the second is it is really true because this table really have 4 legs. And the fourth, I even give a justification about that because I described where those 4 legs are, and I also say I have a photo to justify that, even a video. So then it's a knowledge kind of, because it's a justified true belief, basically. But this is a huge question, you know, so we cannot solve it here. But after I said this being said, and bear in mind, and if you read further, you will meet them again and again, and then you will the stuff about them will get more clear for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but good question, big questions. So
shall we continue?
Yeah.
So with this, the reason there
yeah,
is so much eagerness to see the plane where truth stand is that this pasture has the grass that is the right food for the best part of the soul. And it is the nature of the wings that lift up the soul to be nourished by it. The reason there is so much eagerness truth stand is that this pasture has the grass that is the right food for the best part of the soul. And it is the nature of the wings that lift up the soul to be nourished by it. Okay, the nature of the wings that lift up the soul. Okay. So
maybe
shall I continue or
we can discuss this
this
because it's very simple over dialogue. Any questions?
No.
No, you understand all?
Yeah.
Oh, so is the plane where the truth stands, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I guess this is a so-called origin of the idea of reality. Well,
Exactly.
yeah. That's why, by nature, the winds lift the soul to go there to get nourished.
So why is the other right food for the what is the best part of the soul?
What is the best part?
That is
the charioteer.
the charioteer with the with the rational, that is lifted to the ideas and to the gods, or I don't know, in this
If we say the three parts of the soul, then the best part must be the charioteer, right? Cannot be the two horses. So these are the right food for the soul, basically. So what is a bad food? Opinions, right? Here we can also maybe one of them must be opinions. Yeah. And also not only to the soul, also to the winds, right? So winds of the soul is interesting. So in the end, the soul is lifted by the winds, and the winds need those pasture or need those food.
Yeah, the way the soul is falling down to.
And this eagerness is in fact love, right? So later on he will explain this madness. Where's this madness? Because if you have seen these ideas up above, and then like the idea of beauty, and then you come back to the word, you see a beauty, like say a beautiful use in their term, right? And then you get like reminded, and then you will get this eagerness or this madness. And then basically, so this sentence is very central to this whole dialogue, kind of like. And then your wins, if you have this eagerness, the the soul will remind of the reality or the plane where the truth stands, and the winds will grow more and lift you more. And then you say that's what the dialogue is about. Any questions up to now?
So this madness has also, or eagerness, this madness, it's not a bad madness.
No.
It's a good madness, good kind of madness or eagerness, or yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So shall we continue?
Please.
Besides, the law of destiny is this: if any soul becomes a companion to a god and catches sight of any true thing, it will be unharmed until the next circuit. And if it is able to do this every time, it will always be safe. If, on the other hand, it does not see anything true because it could not keep up, and by some accident takes on a burden of forgetfulness and wrongdoing, then it is weighed down, sheds its wings and falls to earth.
Yes. So now he explained another important word, destiny. It's very important. And destiny is really emphasized in Greek word. And now he kind of like to point out this lifting up or falling down is necessary. That's either or, right? So you need to choose into with like whether you just on your phone or you read some Plato, basically. And then, so it's the destiny of whether or. On the one hand, right? Okay. If on the other hand, the basic two cases. Yeah. Any questions about this passage?
Yeah, destiny seems that you can't have any decision, or I don't know. Destiny for me, it's comes from, I don't know if this is the idea of destiny in Greece. I don't know what they have, but for me, destiny is okay. Can't do anything. Don't know if this is the idea or if it's. I don't know.
I think you means like the destiny absolute, right?
Yeah.
Everything is decided or predetermined.
Yeah, predetermination. Yeah. That's it.
But here, I think he means something you cannot decide. Like you cannot do something like you never look at the reality or the ideas and you will fly up. So that will not happen. The destiny here, the necessity is here, whether you choose one, so which means knowledge or reality, right? And so your wings will become light and you will fly up, or desire, sensational stuff, pleasure, and then you will descend. So you have you have the choice between those two, but not both of them or something else. So there's kind of a law here, right? The destiny here is not like all predetermined, but the kind of the it's a rule of law. We have a law here. That is destined, yeah, but still you can choose from A or B, right? Okay. Any question? No?
Yeah, I think actually in reality, some people are lucky. They maybe at very early times get this environment to see the reality. But for some, they are trying so hard just to live. For them, it's, I don't know. They may not have such kind of chance and environment to see the reality, so they didn't see the other option to choose. But I think in general, for people in between, probably for most people, they are in between. They have such choice, but yeah.
I think your thought you said is also interesting because you seem to suggest first is like disposition. So some souls have never had the chance to look at reality. Plato himself said this right here. Like some have, so here everything begins. Even at the very beginning, some souls saw more and some saw less. So here you said the first is maybe some soul have never in any time in this incarnation, in all so many lives, they have never had the chance to look at the forms or the ideas. On the other hand, you can see there are some other souls, they have seen part of them or very much of them, but then what they do, so these are who can you said normal people, they kind of like they basically have the choice of both, but they may have a very bad environment, right? So like they can have some have seen some see partly of the beauty in the plane of truth, right? But in their lives, they have never met a beautiful youth, say, according to Plato's understanding, or like just even he thought that youth does not have any contact with him or something like that. So maybe then he didn't get the chance to develop. This can also be a case, and you also suggest like maybe there are some also souls have seen the beauty and also met the environment which is suitable for them, but they choose like you can see here, it could not keep up. Some accident take on a burden of forgetfulness and wrongdoing. So forgetfulness, this means just that they cannot remember it or they don't know that it's good enough. And wrongdoings means maybe they know, but they still morally wrong, right? And then they get more heavier and then broken their wings and falls to the earth. So here, the good ways seem to one, but the problems could be several, right? Any other comments or questions to also what I've said or no?
Okay, continue.
Please.
So at that point, according to the law, the soul is not born into a wild animal in its first incarnation, but a soul that has seen the most will be planted in the seed of a man who will become a lover of wisdom or of beauty, or who will be cultivated in the arts and prone to erotic love. The second sort of soul will be put into someone who will be a lawful king or warlike commander. The third, a statesman, a manager of a household, or a financier. The fourth will be a trainer who loves exercise or a doctor who cures the body. The fifth will lead the life of a prophet or priest of the mysteries. To the sixth, the life of a poet or some other representational artist is properly assigned. To the seventh, the life of a mineral laborer or farmer. To the eighth, the career of a sophist or demagogue. And to the ninth, a tyrant. Okay, the tyrant is the lowest.
The worst.
The worst. And sophist is not very much, yeah, it's just one great, yeah.
And
So
even
he
worse
doesn't
than the manual laborer.
Yeah, even, yeah. And the poet is just one great beer.
Yeah.
Priest of the mysteries, it's yeah, in the middle.
So these are mysticals, right? Like maybe the Buddhistic or also in Christian tradition, they are also like those mysticals. And basically here he says we have two groups, right? This group so becomes a companion to a god and catches sight of any true being, it will be unharmed until the next circuit. Oh, so this is so all those 9 parts belongs to this one, right? So they are foreign to earth. So basically it means incarnated or embodied. So in this embodied case, the second cases, there are nine levels, right? I think
9.
So even a philosopher soul was in this the domain. It's only then he does not do like he will try to say more truths and keep up and kind of like be less forgetful and do less wrong or no wrong, basically, right? And here also I think you already know a lover of wisdom is just philosopher. Yeah, because Sophia is wisdom and Philo is I love.
But will the soul always be planted in the, or can it also float on this circle in his, in Plato's view? The soul is not always incarnated, but can also, don't know, it's not bound to body, to incarnation.
Yeah. And who can you answer this question? I think it's a good one.
Yeah, sorry, I was checking another word, didn't follow that question. Can you say that again?
So he says, is that possible that any soul can be freed of incarnation, 轮回, incarnation, and then just become gods or become floating, doing the circular motion in the heaven, or everybody must go to the incarnation forever?
Everybody must go to incarnation forever.
Yes, or doomed to incarnation, basically, right?
Yeah, doomed, yeah.
I think basically here we can say this one is freed from incarnation.
Yeah, it's
right. So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And you can get nirvana also according to Plato. This one is nirvana that left nothing behind, and this one also you have a chance, like in this hierarchy, right? At least for the philosophers, they have a chance, like they can still climb up and goes to the first domain, which you said is a totally freedom.
I get a question for the first category. So apart from philosopher, there's also people who are cultivated in the arts and prone to erotic love. Why prone to erotic love?
I think it's a good question. I don't have an answer ready, but I will. It's a very good one. Very good question. So basically, who are those people, right? Cultivated in the arts, you know, because here he says basically the sixth level.
Yeah, poet or some. Yeah, but okay, maybe they think of a poet who is always just yeah, okay, the kind of poet that is on the court of a king and just sings yeah, makes representational artist. So maybe a kind of yeah.
I can explain here a little bit what does this word means.
Mm.
Is this here I can explain very well, but I cannot explain here.
Yeah.
Basically, Plato thinks like there's a table in the heaven, right? Which is there's an idea of a table, and say there's a person whose name is David. Say we just give him a name. He's a carpenter, right? So he made a table according to the idea table in the heaven.
Okay.
And he looked to the table, and then he made a very, very good table, which is this one. And then now, say, we have an artist, then put his canvas here, right, and draw this table. So this is Plato's understanding of these three levels of reality, say. So the first is one, the original, the real, and the second one is a copy of the idea table, this one. And the artist is a copy of this.
Copy of the copy, okay.
Yeah. And what's the relationship between these three? And so this one is a representation of the real table in the heaven, and the artist's table and the canvas is a representation of this copy. So he basically saying poets and also like painter, right?
Painter.
Is a representational artist.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the problem is now we have kind of have cultivated
the arts. Yeah.
Who are they?
Who
Right?
are they? Yeah. Proto-erotic love, what is in this kind?
And
a good eagerness in the arts, but cultivated in the arts. Are they doing art or are they interested in art as as in search of beauty, search of ideas? I don't know.
We have two answers. Maybe I can try. The first one is Plato thinks music is not representational.
Ah, okay. So music is
Yes.
an kind of absolute.
Maybe then musician. Because you cannot say, okay, like Mahler is trying to copy a stone in his symphony. That doesn't make any sense. He cannot, and nobody can do that. So that's maybe the first answer. And the second one is he basically says educated gentlemen are not musicians. Maybe we are educated gentlemen because we just know a little bit about music. We like doing music. We like singing a choir, but we don't live on that. So we don't need to do that to extreme. The Greek thinks if you are like a professional musician, you are only slave to music.
Yeah, okay. The Greek gentleman was not doesn't have to work. He was he is he's free of this labor or
So he does not need to earn a living by music, but he should understand music. So basically, those professional musicians have a very high quality concert, and he can sit there and enjoy. So maybe what he mean cultivated in the arts. So it's
maybe, that's
and prone to erotic love. Oh, so any comments or of question to what I have said? No.
No,
So
I think that makes sense.
Makes
Maybe
sense, right?
prone to erotic love is some madness.
So, sorry?
Maybe prone to erotic love has something to do with good madness.
Yeah, exactly. I think that also what I want to say, right? According to this dialogue, the subject of this dialogue is proto-erotic love in a proper way, right?
Yeah.
Mm. Any
so
just
continue, or
yeah.
Of all these, any who have led their lives with justice will change to a better fate, and any who have led theirs with injustice to a worse one. So it's kind of reincarnation. It's kind of karma, or I don't know. Yeah.
And at least we know the standards.
Yeah.
So if you want to change your life for better, and so you take care of justice. If not, then the worse.
In fact, no souls returns to the place from which it came for 10,000 years, since its wings will not grow before then, except for the soul of a man who practices philosophy without guile, or who loves boys philosophically. Okay. If after the third cycle of 1,000 years, the last mentioned souls have chosen such a life 3 times in a row, they grow their wings back and they depart in the 3,000th year. As for the rest, once their first life is over, they come to judgment. And once judged, some are condemned to go to places of punishment beneath the earth and pay the full penalty for their injustice, while the others are lifted up by justice to a place in heaven, where they live in the manner the life they led in human form has earned them. Okay.
I think now we already have something. Any question or comments to this passage?
So the place below the earth, I guess, is how do you call that? The
Hades.
It's a Hades. It's a kind of
what? Come again?
Hades. Greek word is Hades, and Christian word is hell, right?
Hell, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so they also believe in that.
Sorry?
So Greek also believe in that.
Yes, Greek believes in Hades. In fact, Hades is the god who runs the area and means unseen. So or unsichtbar, or says invisible. So basically means then he has some interesting, like really myth, right? To give some details of the reincarnation. And very interesting questions also here. The soul of a man who practices philosophy without guile, or who loves boys philosophically. Yeah. He will explain later on more, much in depth. But here already foreshadowing.
What is the philosophical way to love boys, and which is the good way to be prone to erotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So he sees this as a way out of, or a lifting power, basically, right?
Yeah. So last time I was here, there was the bad side describing the bad. I was describing love in a very in a way that was not lifting, but yeah.
But yes. Basically, here we have the answer. Where should Lucius go? Right, that guy. He should go to Hades.
Yeah.
And also Socrates' first speech, right? Because he basically do something to try to do something like this. So if Socrates didn't give his incarnation this reverse of his opinion, he will also go to Hades. I think here, right?
In the 1000th year, both groups arrive at a choice and allotment of second lives, and each soul chooses the life it wants. From there, a human soul can enter a wild animal, and a soul that was once human can move from an animal to a human being again. But a soul that never saw the truth cannot take a human shape, since a human being must understand speech in terms of general forms, proceeding to bring many perceptions together into a reasoned unity.
Any questions? I think here's kind of difficult, right? So they can choose kind of like, but or they are like they are like distributed, right? It seems here it's so you can choose at that moment, but as we understood, it kind of like seems that the soul has chosen, right, in his pre-life. And then here, according what he's done, how much justice and injustice he or she has done, so he will be blessed or condemned. But here, interestingly, Plato use each so choose here. It's really confusing.
Yeah, it's a bit kind of. Soul that never saw the truth cannot take a human shape. So it depends all from the first.
The floating or cycling in the heaven, whether you have seen the reality and how far, right?
So that is an explanation. That process is the recollection of the things our soul saw when it was traveling with God, when it disregarded the things we now call real and lifted up its head to what is truly real instead.
And here, maybe I can ask, so what does he mean, since a human being must understand speech in terms of general forms, proceeding to bring many perceptions together into a reasoned unity?
Must have a glimpse of any ideas, or must have a chariot. A chariot here. No, must.
I think.
Does he want to? Does he want to emphasize? One should be guiled by sophists, by, how do you call that, using the language skill to pass non-real information. Is it this kind of the point Plato wants to emphasize or want to give?
I think you said sophists, right? I think sophists is those who understand speech in terms of general terms forms very well, right? And
But
they
I
can
mean,
also yes.
but one should also understand those terms of general forms very well to be able not to be cheated by sophists.
Yes. Ah, I see. I see. So you basically say it's our it's good judgment, right? Here means good
Yeah, good
judgment.
judgment.
Okay. Okay, I see. But I maybe it's not go so far, but rather like, you know, it's two kind of stuff, you know. In a sentence, we can say Kai Zhi is a human being. And in this word, we have Kai Zhi, we have human being. And human being is in terms of general forms, right? Which means a lot, there's not only Kai Zhi, but a lot of other human beings. And they all share the general forms, human being. And Kai Zhi is like a proper name, or is an individual. So like different, say from a cat, maybe human being can have general terms. But of course, nowadays AI can have better and general forms than us if they are a species. But in any case, it's just, I think Plato wants to make a distinction between human beings and a cat. Say, to say human beings understand general forms in form of speech, like human being, just this word, like class term, like human beings or table or tiger. This kind of stuff belongs rather to human beings, not to a cat or like to a tree. So here, if you don't want to be a crocodile, then so you want to understand the term of general form. So which helps you to bring many perceptions together into a reasoned unity. Because if you look at Kaiji, say you can say he has a nose, maybe, or he has he can speak, and he's kind of the skins like this and that. And so on and so forth. In fact, you didn't see a human being. You just see such and such details, and then you bring all this perception together into a reasoned unity, and you say, okay, this is a human being, basically like this. I think he just tried to make some distinction between human and animals, other animals.
But why speech here? I don't understand what does speech here mean. Why specifically speech?
I think speech must be the Greek word logos. You know,
Logos.
yes. Logos is a very, very interesting word. So he has the roots verb as lege, which means speak. Lego means I speak. And logos is the noun, like format of that verb. And then at the same time, he has other meaning like logic, right? And like psychology, this logi is logos. This is a plural of logos. So basically, speech is one of the reasons So you can see here, you can translate it into reason, speech, right? Logic, and so on and so forth. So I suggest, but I also don't have the Greek at hand, but I suppose it's that way.
Mm.
Any other questions? And what means recollection of things?
Recall what we have seen, what reality we have seen. Is that the recollection of the things?
Yeah. Basically, so why is so important? And do you believe in such stuff, for example?
Believing what, incarnation or what?
Recollection. So I the first time say you learned this is a cat, right? So we can explain this in two ways. Say, because you have seen such an animal for 10 times, and every time your mother point out, okay, this is a cat, and then you learn the cat, right? But before, so you just learn those from impressions and experiences, right? Or sensations. That's the one way, at least most people understand how we get the words and understanding of cat, right? But for Plato, it's not. Plato is like you have seen the form of a cat in the heaven as a human. So you have seen the idea of cat, and then in the world, the this animal, this 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 cats remind you of the form you have seen. So that's recollection. He thinks the knowledge is like in this way.
So it's just retrieval of the truth.
I don't understand what's the word you used.
So
Retrieve?
recollection is just retrieval of reality, what you have seen
Retrieval.
in the heaven.
Yes, yes, yes. Basically, yeah. Weird.
Yeah, maybe a bit.
Yeah. And later on, it's a huge discussion, say, whether knowledge up priori, I thought that, or post or he. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, which basically thousands of discussions followed about this kind of way. So, do we need something before our experience to know something, or no? If yes, it's totally a recollection or some part of recollection, and if some part, in how far, which part? So, it's just it begins a violent discussion in the whole human history, or at least from Plato, it's very explicit, sad about this stuff.
So, shall we continue? So, for just this reason, it is fair that only a philosopher's mind grows rings, since its memory always keeps it as close as possible to those realities by being close to which the gods are divine. A man who uses reminders of these things correctly is always at the highest, most perfect level of initiation, and he is the only one who is perfect as perfect can be. He stands outside human concerns and draws close to the divine. Ordinary people think he is disturbed and rebuke him for this, unaware that he is possessed by God. Okay.
Yes. So now he discussed more about the philosophers, right? The philosopher's mind and winds.
Stands outside human concerns. Yeah.
So this human concerns means, what could it here mean?
Says my God. Okay.
Maybe he just means something like how much is the potato today, right? Or even here, maybe just those sexual desires. Only sexual desires, maybe.
We also have this erotic love. Erotic love. How does that differ from sexual pleasure?
What do you mean?
You said this human concerns. I guess that's some like you gave example of like a sexual desire, right?
I use the word only. Maybe that's
okay.
yes. So
But
for
like
Plato,
in your turn, is that kind of similar to erotic love?
I think this is also a huge question the whole dialogue wants to answer. I think to be short, Plato thinks erotic love, if practiced properly, includes sexual desire, but sexual desire is only Anreiz. What's the English word?
Anreiz, okay. It's just
stimuli, right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So it just give you the first push, and then it's part of it, but should not be the main part of it, or should it be the only part of it? I think Plato will say. So in the end, it's human life as a whole matter, that which is matter, not only the sexual desire. But he never says that is not important. But so what I used is here is the maybe human concerns. What he means just only to put sexual desires as a main part or the only part. Yeah. And which is Lysias, right? Also in this text, you can have in mind his, or like our days one night stands or something like that. Just want to be happy, or to want to have some pleasures, and like eros is just a like kind of like only a means, right, to some purpose or something like that. And here, divine madness is, we are here, right?
Yeah, we were there. Yeah.
Any other comments or questions? No.
So we continue. Now this takes me to the whole point of my discussion of the fourth kind of madness, that which someone shows when he sees the beauty we have down here and is reminded of true beauty. Then he takes wings and flutters in his eagerness to rise up, but is unable to do so, and he gazes aloft like a bird, paying no attention to what is down below, and that is what brings on him the charge that he has gone mad. This is the best and noblest of all the forms that possession by God can take for anyone who has it or is connected to it. And when someone who loves beautiful boys is touched by this madness, he is called a lover.
I think here is very, very, very important to the to answer as basically the answer to Lysia's position. Why is a lover should be preferred, not a non-lover? He called it the whole point of my discussion of the force of madness. And he gives some description what kind of state he's in. So he sees the beauty we have done here and is reminded of the true beauty, maybe capitalized beauty, right? Then he takes wind and flutters in his eagerness to rise up, but is unable to do so. Like, it's just a Zwischenstand, like you can say, this is a very good like definition here. And he gazes aloft like a bird, paying no attention to what is done below. And that is what brings to him to the charge that he has gone mad. And also falling in love has something like this feeling, right? It's just basically a lot of parallel here. This is the best and noblest of all the forms that possession by God can take for anyone who has it or is connected to it. And when someone who loves beautiful boys is touched by this madness, he's called a lover. Also, a lover is defined. Right here we have the different definition of a lover. Important passage. Any comments or question? No?
So, as I said, nature requires that the soul of every human being has seen reality. Otherwise, no soul could have entered this sort of living thing. But not every soul is easily reminded of the reality there by what it finds here. Not souls that got only a brief glance at the reality there. Not souls who had such bad luck when they fell down here that they were twisted by bad company into lives of injustice, so that they forgot the sacred object they have seen before. Only a few remain whose memory is good enough, and they are startled when they see an image of what they saw up there. Then they are beside themselves, and their experience is beyond their comprehension because they cannot fully grasp what it is that they are seeing.
Further definition, definement of this state.
Nature requires that the soul of every human being has seen. Okay.
Otherwise, you are an animal or something like that, right? Why the plant has a soul, it's also controversial, but anyway, if you don't see reality, you have a soul, then you might be other animals. But then you cannot get to the knowledge, right? And because knowledge is recollection, how you can get to the recollection? You got reminded of by a beautiful use of the beauty, basically like this. Yeah. But if you get like you get the reminder, say, then you will get crazy because you can just like you were hit by a thunder, right? It's kind of like this feeling. But at the same time, it's very rare because you want to lift up, but you have so many, also Versuchung in English, temptation,
yeah.
a lot of stuff which keeps you just falling down, right? Like the algorithm, right?
Yeah.
It's the whole purpose of them is to keep you falling down. And so then, of course, if you play with that, you forgot the secret objects, which is other forms, right? You have seen before, forms in heaven. Yeah. And two kind of stuff is essential here. You have a good memory, and also you can be startled when you see an image of a beautiful youth or a beautiful tree or a beautiful flower, whatsoever, or a very good music, right? Then they are beside themselves and their experience is beyond their comprehension because they cannot fully grasp what it is that they are saying. So basically, that's also what I want to say. Like Plato, in the end, give a myth, like story about what is Eros, right? He cannot give a grasp, a reasoning account because it's different. Nowadays, a lot of people are doing that, so they analyze what is love. But for Plato, love, how can you fully grasp that? Right? It's kind of mystical for him, something beyond dialectic and analyze. And by the way, here also one interesting madman is Phaedrus, the first philosopher. So basically, he just looking in the above and fall into a cave, a hole or something. That was after by other people. And he's kind of has some divine madness for wisdom. Yeah. Any comments?
What does life of justice mean? Meaning life without justice, and justice means live a bad life where they are not treated fair, or is that the what like a life of justice meaning?
It's a very important and a good question, and also relevant to the context here. Plato's most famous book is The Republic, and it's much longer. It's kind of like a few hundred pages, maybe 800 pages or more. And in that book, he only discusses one question: what is justice? And in order to answer this question, he needed to answer a lot of stuff, especially the structure of a human soul or psyche. And in this book, Phaedrus, we also see the discussion of the structure of the soul. And in fact, they are related and very similar. Basically, also in the Republic, there are also three parts of the soul: the reason, the spiritual, and the appetitive is here. So for Plato, what is justice? Justice is every part of your soul doing his work, doing his own work, and not the business of others. Don't mind the business of others, and in the end, form a harmony between the three parts. which is the reason part is commanding or making decisions, and the spiritual part is like make the whole so energetic. Sometimes if angry, if needed, and the appetitive part doing what he should do, but not taking lead, for example. So basically, the spiritual part help the reasonable part to keep a harmonious whole of the soul. This is justice.
Okay, so it's more individual, like side that within one soul, these three components they coordinate,
and also, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like an individual. There's the nature of an individual soul.
Got you.
But at the same time, Plato thinks it also applies for the whole society, which means those for him, the philosophers should be represent the rational part of the soul, right? And the soldiers should be the spiritual part, and the other like craftsman and a farmer or businessman, and they should be like the appetitive. So in a just state or country, so the philosopher should take charge and taking control, make wise decisions, and the soldiers helps him, and the common people just in some case have some self-control in the best cases, but in any case led by the other by the reason, and in the whole the society is harmonious and everybody is doing what he should do and get what he should get. This is social justice or political justice. Okay, so I think your question is relevant and important here, and also helpful to understand this critical domain or standard of why the soul should go upwards or downwards, right?
Thank you for the explanation and the context.
Okay.
So justice and self-control do not shine out through their images down here, and neither do the other objects of the soul's admiration. The senses are so murky that only a few people are able to make out, with difficulty, the original of the likenesses that they encounter here. But beauty was radiant to see at that time when the souls, along with the glorious chorus, we were with Zeus, while others followed other gods, saw that blessed and spectral vision, and were ushered into the mystery that we may rightly call the most blessed of all. And we who celebrated it were wholly perfect and free of all the troubles that awaited us in time to come. And we gazed in rapture and sacred revealed objects that were perfect and simple and unshakable and blissful. That was the ultimate vision, and we saw it in pure light because we were pure ourselves, not buried in this thing we are carrying around now, which we call a body, locked in it like an oyster in its shell. Okay, not buried in this thing. So incarnation, yeah, it's a state of locked in.
Imprisoned. And here I have a question. So what's the difference between beauty and justice and self-control and say truth or something like that. Yeah. Basically, he means we can see beauty, right? But we cannot see justice. We cannot see justice, really see. Of course, we use that word. We see justice, but not really by eyes, right? Or it's an indirect way to say that. So he says the most important stuff is the recollection or the knowledge of the forms, right? The forms like the justice, the self-control. But those stuff are invisible, in fact. So it's very difficult for us to get reminded of them, to get recollected, to get the chance to recollect them. But beauty is different. So just beauty is radiant. So a beautiful youth just stand in front of you. So you cannot ignore it, right? It's just radiant. It's unbelievable. Everybody who sees such a beautiful boy or beautiful girl must think, wow, he's or she's beautiful. And then that's what he means basically here. And yeah, he reminded beauty is the most efficient way to remind you of the reality.
Okay.
Yeah. And beauty is so deeply intertwined with eros, the second, right? Usually you love this for a beautiful, basically even a problem like they say every time you see a beautiful, say a beautiful youth or a beautiful girl or beautiful boy, and you must think he must be very smart, right? But in fact, if you talk with him or her, oh, in fact, not at all. So sometimes beauty even here like illusory or cheating us. But anyway, it's the strongest way to remind you of, in Platon's sense, the reality. And here, glorious chorus choir is very mystic. And most blessed means also happy, because the Greek word blessed is kind of like happy. Any comments or questions? No?
What is we gazed in rapture at sacred? We gazed in rapture. What is it? Does it mean? No. Yeah, we gazed in rapture at sacred.
Rapture is kind of like, I think, just German word. What's that? Begeisterung.
Okay, that's okay. Because I associated other things.
And here he kind of like explain some other like properties of the forms, right? They were perfect and simple. You mean interesting. So says the one, says the idea of one is simple. It's important. It's easy to understand. But the idea of justice is simple, is difficult. The idea of beauty is simple, is also difficult. unshakable, so unchanging, blissful, shining. And it's really kind of like those mysticals, right, who do meditation or something like they say, oh, I see God or something like they have this vision, basically. That was the ultimate version, and we saw in pure light because we were pure ourselves. Wow. Not buried in this thing we are carrying around now, which we call a body. So in other books, he says, philosophy is the separation of body and soul.
Okay.
And so here he kind of like say, you get a little bit interested, get away from body more, and you are more close to the ideas. So there's two, like dualism, and at the same time, it's how to ask it, side austerity, right?
Yeah. Okay. It's ideal to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I think we kind of run out of time.
Yeah.
You can stop here today.
Yeah, because it was a very long part we had to read. I think it was the whole description of this mythical.
It's really difficult part, right? And also very rich. You have the feeling every sentence and every words require some close attention and some discussion. Like then you kind of get more close to it. Okay, do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm kind of lost in the very last part because like I don't know, I lost my attention.
Tired, maybe it's just too long and too difficult. Our brain cannot function for a very long time like in this intensity.
Yeah. By the way, you can share with me the transcript. I can, as what we did last time, to maybe summarize something out of it, and then yeah.
I transcript. I think you mean something like this. I can share you also a little bit now. I don't use that much today because I think this. I want to go. You mean this one?
No, I didn't mean mind map, but like a transcription of the. I think this could be also helpful. Yeah,
Okay.
mind map can be also helpful, but mainly the transcription of the meeting today that we can then
I see. I see. I see what you mean now. Okay. I see what you mean now. Okay, I'll try to do that. Yeah. And because I still didn't understand, you told me once, and that was in such a hurry, I didn't really understand it, in fact.
No worries. You just basically just the dictation of like what we were discussing today, and then I ask large language model to summarize some highlights.
Okay, I will try to do that. A good idea. Okay. And
Cool.
so for today, like this, thank you for your time.
Thank you for
and
organizing it.
participation.
Nice to see you guys and
See you.
enjoy the
In
nice
2
weather.
weeks. In 2 weeks. Okay.
In 2 weeks.
Yes, next week I won't be joined. I rather
The concert, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then see you in 2 weeks.
See you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye bye.